What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's Anything podcast by two kings. I am King DJ.
Had to get a drink first.
My nigga say that.
I am King Perez.
And y'all know how the fuck we do it, man. We back up in this thing like we don't go no motherfucking word, dog.
Roll out with
Season 3. I feel like Denzel on damn, what's the name of that movie with Ray Allen where he took a lap. He was like, I'm feeling refreshed. It's season 3, man. He got game, dog. We got game in this bitch. Dog, we in this thing, dog. But y'all know how we do it, man. We done introduced ourselves, and before we go anywhere, another time we intertwine in the rock or the drop with another introduction of the interview. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So before we get anywhere, we gotta introduce him and then let this rock it or drop it flow because it's his. We got the FireStarter. The FireStarter right now with streams, man. The FireStarter with streams, so make sure y'all hit those polls, hit those views, hit those subscriber buttons, and run his checkup. Cause that's what we want. We want that bag to get big.
Yes, sir.
So P, how you feeling about the streams?
Oh, I like it, man. So, you know, soft, mellow, smooth, you know what I'm saying? So it's a deal for me. I go for it, you know, I like to chill out, so it's that vibe for me.
Well, I like it per se. First of all, before I get there, this is our first instrumental beat that we've ever had on Rock It or Drop It, you know. So right now he's setting the tone, but I like it because it gives me a lo-fi vibe, you know, and I actually like that feel. Me and him had a nice little conversation over it. I like that settling feel from it anyways, and then this gives me a meditational beat. So I got a couple questions that I might want to ask him throughout the duration of this conversation anyways based off this beat. But now it's time for you to judge. So what you gonna say? How you Rock It or Drop It is where we put our music out there, and then we allow our guests, our peoples, our loved ones, our community to tell us how they feel about it.
That's what's up.
So now we asking you how you feel about your track. What put you in the mindset to put this out? Where did this come from?
Obviously, I think it's dope, or I wouldn't have released it. When I was making it, I pretty much was just trying to do, like, not necessarily, like, lo-fi per se, but trying to give you that, you know, like that subliminal kind of ride. That's why it has, like, water flowing in the background, so it does give you some meditative type thing going on. And, like, when I really first started making it, I actually was trying to make a drill beat. So that's kind of where the hi-hat pattern kind of comes from. But then I started playing those chords, and I was like, man, this kind of sound like not like this, but it put me in the mindset of Moments in Love. I know you know what that is.
Why you gotta throw me out there? You gotta throw me out there and shit. Like, yeah, I know what it is. The youngsters
Look, as soon as
don't
you
know.
hear it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I know that.
The youngsters don't know, but that was that.
Moments in Love.
That was that smooth, meditated, like, you know, you just ride beat, man. You know.
It's on me.
Oh, okay.
He's like, ah.
I tell everybody I ain't good with names, but that's why I say tell me how I go.
Yeah,
As soon as she would have been like,
So I was trying to create that kind of vibe, so, you know, you can actually just chill out. I know people like, when I started doing that one, I really kind of got into the vibe of just understanding more of how much people just listen to instrumental music, period. So even like with the lo-fi music, it's, to me, it's like chill hip-hop beats, but it's still just music. You know what I'm saying? There's no vocals on it or nothing like that, so
Definitely.
Yeah, I know I went all over the place, but that's what I think about.
So with that being said, how did you feel about Andre 3000?
The flute album.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, I honestly, when I create music, I don't really like to have my head infiltrated at certain times. So this just happens to be one of those times. So I am gonna check it out, because I am interested in, like, I like all kinds of music. So like, I ain't really tripping about the flute. You feel me?
Right.
Like, that's why to me, that's why it was a few rappers like, yeah, I want to rap on this, because I'm like, you probably can rap on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you dope, you can rap on it. Like,
Especially that beat.
The thing that kind of got me the most is he has said that at this point in life he don't really have anything to rap about anymore. And
Wait. Let's close this rocket and drop it. Then we can get into that. So make sure y'all tap into those polls, tap into those views. He got 3 thumbs up right here, right now. And then we're going to throw that out there for y'all, and y'all can go fishing with it and let them know how y'all feel about it. Now go ahead.
Yeah, so he said basically he doesn't have anything to rap about anymore. So, you know, that goes back to, like, are we putting an age limit when it comes to rap music? Because, you know, a lot of people have said this before, that no other music form has an age.
that was me.
I said that shit too. I said no other genre of music got an age gap on it but hip hop.
You see these rock guys, they be 50, 60, 70, 80 up there doing it and like still selling out arenas, and it's like, how come we can't do that?
Country music doing the same thing. Jazz music, hip hop is nothing but a string from jazz. The original beat is, you know what I'm saying? So why are we capped? You know, or why is hip hop capped?
I mean, I get where he coming from. I think at the end of the day, like, when it comes to making music, just from producing the music, as long as I've been doing it, like, I just understand that it's entertainment.
Right.
And, you know, I'm not all into always tripping about the message and all that, because, like, matter of fact, perfect example, like Sexy Red. I do not like that girl. But I'm like, yo, like, she make music that, hey, them blue,
Right.
you know, I call them the ratchets, you know.
Yeah, the ones listen to.
But it's a market for it, and if it wasn't, that's why you wouldn't even know her name.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But me personally, no, I don't like it. But there are some qualities in it that I do like. So, but it's like the creativity in the music part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just because I love music, and like, if you say some dope ass shit, like, that's dope. Like, I don't care.
Right.
I think
Like, make me think with the bars.
I think people look at it like when you get to a point where it's no longer what they consider gangster, they feel like the music ain't worthy of being listened to. So if it don't have that gangster vibe, if it don't have that, you know, I'm killing 20 niggas and I'm riding on my ops, if it don't have that intertwined with it, you know what I'm saying, it's just not, you know, playable music. But are we basically falling under the conditions of, you know, what they kind of push for hip hop?
I don't think so. And I'll just say this: some of that stuff, and it's probably because I'm a part of the business. Like, I don't look at it that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to some of everything, and I think that's part of the reason why the music is the way that it is today. Like, nobody likes albums, and it's basically, to me, because if you want to hear a range of different things, and you kind of can't get that with one person. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you listen to this one, and that one, and so you have all these different moods and feelings, and people are just like that. So it's like it's always gonna be music for this and that. Yeah, I mean, just like I ain't about to go out and kill a bunch of dudes, but like I like that shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear that shit. You feel me?
Right.
look, like if I'm on a road trip, hell yeah, I want to listen to that. Like, and it might be old as hell, but it's like the content is still the same. Like, it's just, you know.
And I think some people get to the point in life where they feel like, you know, I live pretty good. I'm not in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I have a, you know, business. I'm raising my kids. So, you know, for me to get on a album and talk about, you know, my ops and shit, I don't really know how
I don't think
shit
that was
like
the
that.
case for Andre though.
Well, I think that is kind of what he was saying was that.
Yeah.
No, see, for him, I feel like he's saying like, this is the area that hip hop is going to, and he's not in that seat to speak on that type of stuff. So he's just putting out something that he loves. Like,
Yeah.
like they say, Andre was walking around with a flute for the last past 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I
before he was
heard.
playing this, you know what I'm saying? So to feel comfortable enough to even sit down and produce a beat and then add a flute in it, you know what I'm saying? That's just, I think that was just a pure, fabrication. I mean, the pure fantasy of what hip hop is and art is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally just put out something that he just loved.
But he was giving y'all a glimpse of it. I don't think people was peeping it. Like on that, hey y'all.
Hey,
It
thank
was
you.
a
I said that.
with the
I
flute.
said that.
He was throwing that flute in
said
there.
that.
He was letting y'all know.
Cause I'll
It was
tell you,
coming.
I had played like tracks from it, and I just was waiting on the rap and shit. I was
Well,
like,
it is something somebody can come on and rap through.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna listen to
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna get around to it for
It's,
sure.
I liked it. I actually like, because I took it for what it is. Like what you just said. You taking people for the Sexy Red putting out her music. Yeah, it's detrimental to the community, but this is her art. You feel me? It's a lane for her. So
Yeah.
obviously,
And you said something like that's key to me. Like really, and I guess I've always looked at it like this, but I've never thought about it in this way. So I didn't articulate it in that way. It is art, so it's like, how can you just be mad at how somebody create their art and just because you don't like it, like. And a lot of stuff has come about like that, even on a positive note, like from art. It's like, you know, you shouldn't be. I don't think it's a good thing to censor people when it comes to art. Like, I guess at the end of the day, if you don't like it, just don't participate in it. Like, you don't have to watch it.
I think I've been like on both sides of the coins, both sides of the coins when it comes to that, because I don't know. You know, you remember when I put out that song "Cop Killers"?
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day. Now we went down to, I think it was like Oakland or Macomb, one of the colleges, and they was interviewing us, and they was like, well, let us throw on the track. And I was like, you know, like, okay. So somebody was like, hey, play Cop Killers. And I was like, shit. I was like, all right, put the track on. And, you know, I got a lot of fucking flack for letting that track go. But my thing was, at that moment, at that period of time, that's how I was feeling. So, you know, that was my expression. Not to say, you know, nobody go out and, you know, kill a cop or whatever, but just looking at, you know, everything we was going through when we get stopped, you know, how they treated us, how they, you know, took shit out of our car, threw it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. How they roughed us up and shit like that, and we had to just eat that shit. So my only form of expression was through my music.
Yeah, I can relate to that because that's actually like I got PTSD from police, and like now, shit, that is music is my therapy, like seriously. So it's like I can get my mood and feeling out by literally just putting it into the music. And like you said, it don't mean what it may sound like,
right?
But I mean, you gotta get the stuff out if that's the kind of person you are.
Hey, I'm about to be the middle generation between y'all motherfuckers and say, today's age, you can't talk about going out and killing the cop if you ain't killed the cop. Because when a youngster hear it and he trying to be down, now he feel like in order to be down, he gotta go out and kill a cop or get a body, period. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be. It's no censor on poetry. You know what I'm saying? It's no censor on so many other forms of art. Painting is no censor on none of this.
Rap is just poetry to music.
With a beat, it's the lyrical art form.
It's rhyme and meter and all that same stuff.
It plays between reality and fiction, and a lot of it had to do with parenting too. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we had to teach our kids what's reality, what's fiction, what's emotional, what's expression. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Back in the days, black folks was always known to say, "I'll blow this bitch up." We not about to blow shit up.
Right, like
you know what I'm saying? But that was our form of expression.
But then you had some of the ones who came back with their AR, like, I'm about to blow this bitch up. You know what I'm saying? So then the ones was glorified. Them the motherfuckers was glorified.
But I mean, it's all about selectiveness and how you take shit.
I was just about to say, because that's another thing too.
Because
no other form of art get glorified like hip hop.
Because if you look at some of that rock and roll shit, they was doing crazy ass shit. I mean, kids went out and did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Devil worshiping, cutting up animals and shit. But you know, it just didn't get glorified like hip hop got glorified with it. You know, but that's life.
But hip hop, like honestly, I think the only reason why hip hop is the, as y'all put it, getting glorified the way that it is right now with all the most of the negativity and stuff. It's basically just because it's literally has taken over every single thing.
The music industry.
I mean, no, it's the number one music genre. It done overtook rock music. You see what I'm saying? And you think about it, it's like think about it like this. You can turn on like 50 different white shows that have no black people on them, but it's gonna have a bunch of hip hop music underneath that shit.
Because hip hop basically killed rock and roll.
You know what? I can kind of see that, but I think it just overtook it, man.
Yeah.
Like think about it like this.
I was about to say,
Don't nobody else.
Pop now.
Yeah, like people like when I'm always searching for music and just trying to find different stuff. So like, it's so many different genres of rap.
Right.
So it's Korean rap. It's people over in Africa doing it. Like it's like rappers are like everywhere.
Yeah.
And rock ain't like that. Country ain't like that. No other genre is like that. And I think it's primarily because, especially country. I think country is more of a United States kind of thing.
Well, you know, even with the country, you look at it when Nelly first did, you know what I'm saying, his country rap song. That motherfucker blew up. Then Nas X came with his country rap song, blew that shit up. You know, it's like anytime.
Gospel rap.
Yeah, anytime somebody, you know, from that gender of music goes into, you know, another playing field, it just elevates it. You know what I'm saying? Which sometimes you feel like it'll give it a boost, but, you know, instead of take it over. But, I mean, you basically open the door. You kick open the door for a whole new different kind of like generation, you know, of fans and shit like that, because they end up liking it. So they end up researching it.
Yeah.
So how long have you been producing? When did you start producing? We jumping into a great musical conversation. Let's get a little bit about you. How long have you been producing in the music industry?
Man, I've been producing for, as I say, a minute.
Hey, look, he actually made like my first track, the first track I ever did.
Okay, so
he produced it.
So we'll say you done touched the clock a couple times. So you done been around your way.
I've been working out my chance,
And I mean that you consistent.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you don't find a lot of people who really stay consistent with their work to even say I do this. You know.
Yeah, I think I'm more so like it's my passion. So it's like as many times as I done got away from music, like I always end up coming back to music. You know what I'm saying? Like working in radio, literally. I started working in radio trying to get my artists on, but I was like, oh, I figure if I work at the radio station, it'd be easier. And it's like, nah, you can't ask nobody because now you at work. It's like, Well, this was a dumb idea, but it was cool because you know, hey,
You got the knowledge, but I
yeah,
that work.
that's all. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, man, I've been doing it for a minute.
Managing, producing, you got filming, you got so much under your, and all I hear is passion about everything that you saying. Like what drives that passion?
I guess at the end of the day, it's because I'm a perfectionist. So it's like I definitely don't want to fail, but so I'm always trying to strive to move forward. But you gotta succeed to move forward. Obviously, you're gonna have some failures in between, but you should have, yeah.
I always say
Nothing's
this,
foolproof, but
I would say this ain't no failure, man. You don't
Right.
fail unless you stop.
yeah.
That's the only how you feel. Other than that, just learning lessons and progressions.
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty much what it's been, man. Like just doing that, and then like I said,
So you started off. Did you start off rapping? Were you rapping, or did you just start off producing? Like your whole game was producing itself.
nah, you know, it was the funniest thing, man. So like when I first started making music, like I went to the studio with my homeboy because they was all going to the studio. So I'm like, yeah, I know how to make beats. I never made a beat ever in my life. I just was like, man, I know how to do this shit because like I hear so much music, like it's. So we went in there. I saw what was going down. It basically was just like telling the engineer what to play, and you know, he was basically coming out here do it, and that's how they was doing it. So to me, I was like, oh shit, all I need to do is learn how to use the equipment because like I can do that. What he doing? So I literally just went out and bought a bunch of equipment. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a loan out my 401k. I'm gonna buy some equipment. Started off a label, had a partner, got rid of the partner thing, and then I think that was like actually like the crash course to the music business, just getting into it. Because like even with starting off with the partner, that was the very beginning of. Everybody don't have the same drive, and they're not on the same page. Even though they say they're on the same page, you might not be on the same page. And everybody not a boss that say they're a boss.
Right before you walked in this door, I swear to God, I just said that exact same statement. I swear to God, I just said them exact same words, bro. You cannot look at everybody and say, make boss move if you're not a boss.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Because then you're going to have them thinking that they're making the right moves when in actuality, they're meant to help, guide, create, do a whole bunch of other shit instead of standing forefront and say, I'm a boss.
Yeah.
Because we had this conversation. At the conversation, I was like, motherfuckers got to stop thinking like employees and think like a goddamn boss. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's aggravating sometimes, you know what I'm saying? When people make certain moves and you gotta be like, you really gotta start thinking more into it, you know what I'm saying? Stop thinking like an employee, thinking like a boss, thinking like if you ran this company or if you was running the business.
Employees, they not bosses. I mean, dog, if everybody was a boss, who the hell gonna do the work? You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be a bunch of bosses like, I ain't doing that shit.
I ain't doing this, I'm doing this.
I'm the man. So, I mean, I feel you, but...
yeah.
You want to have that mindset. That's the mindset that you want to strive for, but then you
Yeah.
can't knock the ones who say, hey, man, I just want to come in, I just want to do my job, and I want to get on.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like that motherfucker who say that.
And some people, man, like... Some people, they don't even know that stuff, like, themselves. And I can definitely tell you from working in the music industry, that is, like... You have to definitely learn people. Because that's all you deal with is people. And people with personalities. So it's like they're a little bit extra for regular people.
Yeah.
So, man.
So what's keeping you in this world, you're a part of this world, you're connecting with this world.
Mm-hmm.
What's keeping you balanced when you come outside of this world and living your day-to-day life? Because I always say it's a difference between music and art. You know what I'm saying? Music is the whole circumference of the business plus the art. And then you have the art where you can just sit up and make a beat like this and like say, yeah, this is dope to me, I'm putting it out, and really not care what, you know, music, you caring what somebody else say. You know, you caring about the critics, you caring about how far can this go, you caring about I gotta make the money off of it. You know,
Right.
art, this just what I love. You know, so how you balancing the two, being in that business on a day to day?
I mean, like, being in the music business, just in general, you have to have balance, and obviously that still holds the same for life in general. But in the business, you definitely have to have balance. So you do have to make the art, but then if there's no business, then you don't make any money off the art. And like me personally, I'm not one of those people that believe that all artists create art just because they like to make art. Like, I think somebody wants something from it, and yeah. And if nothing else, I believe all artists at base level, they want to be able to like survive off of their art if they could, and just say, okay, I'm gonna do paintings, and I'm not gonna work nowhere else, and if I can do that to sustain, I bet you they would do it. So all that, oh, I'm just doing it because I'm an artist, like, nah, you're not. Because nobody gave you any money yet. Like, that's all that shit means.
Everybody be saying I'm an artist and I'm passionate about my shit.
I mean, you are, but like even that has limits. So it's like you create the art to a certain point, and then it is a business. So it's like, okay, like a lot of artists, they get big and then they go, oh, I want to do my thing that I want to do, which is not what they signed you to do. And technically, business wise, it hasn't even worked. This other thing that we've been doing, it works. Like, now you want to switch it up? Like, nah, it doesn't make sense.
And I think, you know, for the most part, a lot of people just fall in love with the art and they do the art. And when they get to the business end of it, they really don't understand it, because even when I was younger, you know, we set up for hours doing music. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, you were more inclined back then on the business than we were. You know what I'm saying? We did the art all the time, but you used to tell us about the business. You used to be like, hey man, y'all gotta have, you know, your paperwork, you know what I'm saying? And even when it came to, and like, I can actually say, when it came to like royalty and publishing, I didn't know shit about that back then. You was the first one that ever said like, hey, you know, if y'all put y'all music on this, you know what I'm saying, you gotta make sure you know you got your shit straight for your royalties.
I was in
and
the
your
5th
publishing.
grade. Me and my homeboy Steve, like, reading the back of covers, seeing what, oh, that's what the parentheses mean. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the money in the parentheses. Like, that's the writers.
Yep. You ain't always gotta be the man rapping that beat. You still gonna make money off that beat. You still gonna make money off instrumentals. You still gonna make money off engineering.
I think the business is bigger than what people look at it from the outside as. So it's like, just look at it like this: if you're dealing with a team, like, just use like the baby for example. Like, anything that you got to do, it's gonna take multiple people to get that shit handled. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to get security. You're gonna have to make sure the venue right. So you're gonna have to send somebody ahead of time to go look at the venue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to collect the money. Like, what's going on with the music? You got to enter in the music to the publishing, because you get paid from the performance venue for doing the performance. Like, from the publisher. Like, it's all kind of people that work in that. And the bigger you are, the bigger it is. I'm talking about just doing the show at somewhere like the Fox. Like, you definitely got at least about 100 employees working on that one event. You know what I'm saying? So,
payroll for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team effort. I think the outside world get caught up into the artist and the artist being the thing, but it's like it's 30 people behind this person.
Right,
like, they're just literally, like, I don't want to say they're nobody, but they're like they're the face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You always talk about branding.
Yeah, they're the brand.
But you know, the thing about it is, like, you know, like if you want to take it back, like you told me a long time ago, yeah, these are y'all lyrics, but this is my music. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you got a rapper, you look at it like in a sense, like basically, this is his rap song. You know what I'm saying? Nobody looks at like, okay, who was the producer, the engineer that made this song the fire that it is. You know what I'm saying? We came with the lyrics, but is lyrics by itself the song?
No, because then you just be a poet.
Right. So, you know, it's a lot of times we got to look into it. And, you know, I looked at that shit when you said it back in the days because I looked at that shit as that was kind of the breakage point a lot of times when we did music, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, okay, I'm gonna go in the studio, we're gonna do this track, and it depends on what producer we was working with. If he was knowledgeable about his business, he'd say, okay, y'all can do the track, but you know what I'm saying, I'm still, you know, retaining everything from my music. You know what I'm saying? I own this, so basically, you know, it was to the point if we made any money off of it and shit, we owed that person. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of guys didn't understand that. Like, you know, we can't do this song because my man didn't clear it. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't, you know, proceed with this album because my man got stake in this album and we produced it at his studio. So basically, we can get sued if we drop this shit.
That's what Lil Boosie and Ron Wade just dealt with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same shit. Lil Boosie went on stream talking about that shit.
So you gotta understand when these artists go in the studio and, you know, they record a song, even if it's fire, if the producer be like, you know, they ask for their masters, they be like, oh, you can't get the masters because, you know, yeah, even though you did the track, it's still on my music. So it's not just that easy to go in and do a song and be like, I own 100% of this song, unless y'all set that deal up, you know, like that.
On your own terms. Soulja Boy did it best. Y'all better stop playing. Big Draco did it best. He did his own, dropped his own, and came out the trunk, sold his own shit, made a million. Did it all his own.
There's all kind of ways to do music nowadays.
Yeah.
But if the business isn't there, I mean, it's just like I think that's what's going on now with a lot of the younger artists. Like some of them get it and some of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the business. Like right now, like Snoop just put up this thing where he was talking about the streams and how much it was worth. Well, he got 1 billion streams. The publisher was like, yeah, it's like about $45,000. And it's like, yeah, but the business is not just, oh, I'm putting it on Spotify and Apple and get it streamed. Like, are you getting shows out of it? You should be able to get some shows out of it. Like, get some sponsorships. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do a lot of stuff with it. So even when it's like what you was talking about with getting the songs cleared and all that stuff, like you don't have the paperwork. Like right now, I'm working doing sync licensing with the music, and so you gotta get that stuff cleared. So even if I send a song to a music library and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we like the song, they still need to, we both got to sign off on it, me and the artist that rapped on it or sung on it or whatnot. Unless I just, you know, unless I have paperwork saying that I own the song and I administer all the rights.
Right.
So basically I control it, and that's literally what the music libraries, they want to just deal with is one person if possible. You know what I'm saying?
So when you say sync, is that like for like the movies and stuff like that to get the clearance to have certain songs on certain movies?
Yeah. So sync licensing is basically just music or songs for TV, film, and advertising. So anytime you see, like, say a reality show like Atlanta Housewives or something like that, like, there's literally over 100 pieces of music in one episode.
Okay.
And it's just like little beats that pop in here and there. They're literally 10, 15 seconds, but that stuff pays thousands of dollars. And like, that's part of the reason why they only want to deal with a handful of people, is because like you gotta have your stuff together, and for them it's business. Cause think about it like this: if they paying you $1,000, well, I ain't gonna say 1,000 on an average. So if on an average on a big network thing, you're probably gonna get like $5,000. So if you get $5,000 sync placement, like that's the smallest part of that whole production.
Right.
I said it's 100 pieces of music in here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? On
One
one
episode.
episode.
One episode.
So, and the other reason why they only want to deal with a small amount of people also is because like they don't want to have problems with trying to get clearances and stuff, because you putting my man's song on here and you ain't got it cleared, and like they don't, like they just go in, oh, we got these beats, this is what we're gonna use, we're gonna edit, and the editor just throwing beats under there. He ain't even thinking about, oh shit, is this cleared?
Right. Yeah.
Like, no. The music supervisor sent them over, they all good. This is what we using. Pick through these.
So what made that your wave? Like how did you grab this concept to say, hey, I'm about to train, cause you still in the rap world or the hip hop world, but what made you say, I'm about to transition to this?
I actually always wanted to do that. That's always what I wanted to do. Just didn't really know how to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Working with artists and managing, like, I was a co-publisher, so you know I understood what publishing is. It ain't just, oh, I'm gonna take your publishing. It's like, that's what most people think it is. You're just taking my publishing. It's like, nah, like the publisher should be working, which is taking the your material, your compositions, and submitting them for other opportunities to make money off of the music.
Right.
So it can be in commercials and TV and film, and you can make money with the songs instead of just, like, the streaming is just the smallest part of the stuff, man. Yeah, like, I don't want to discount it, but it's like not the end all be all, and I think a lot of people, that's all they know is that.
I was just about to say, because that's what's so publicized today, because you hear everybody say, what's your streaming like? Like, even not even just music, it's like podcasting, movie streaming, it's like, it's always what's your streaming like. When, like you just say, that's the smallest part, because it's so much higher shit that people make money off of.
It's what it is it is a part of the picture, so you can't like not include it at all. So you do have to think about it. It's like it's an indicator, so to speak. So let me just put it to you like this: if you put up a song and like you got 10 monthly listeners, like to me that's gonna tell me you ain't even paying for advertising and shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, of course ain't nobody listening to the music. So, and are you not paying for advertising because you don't know about it or because you don't have the money? And honestly, I don't even think it's not about not having the money, because like these ads, sure enough, you can program an ad for $5 and not get too much out of it, but you can and still get something versus nothing. And it's simple as hell. It's simple business, and that's what it is. It goes back to the business side of the music. Every single company out here, they do some form of advertising, even if it's just business to business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's why they use you. They're advertising the artists.
Yeah. Because you hear a lot of artists sometimes, even though they have a big name, and they drop an album, and they always say, well, my record company didn't promote that album, or they didn't give it, that push like they gave, this artist that push. And you would think, like, why do they got to give you a push? Because your name itself should generate, generate the people, you know what I'm saying?
But, so that's one of the things that I like about music, is that it is always ever changing. So, like, it used to kind of be like that, but right now it's it's just you can push yourself. Like
Right.
these record labels, honestly, they're not even really trying to sign people like that. Like if you don't have already, like you literally already have to have your own thing already
Yeah.
going, and then they want to mess with you then. But at that point, it's like it's a strategy game for you being an artist.
Commercialized.
Yeah, because you just basically doing what works in business also.
Right.
OPM,
So
using
many
other people's
indie
money.
artists.
Yeah.
It's so many indie artists.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many artists right now. The thing with the music is just like nobody, and I do the same thing. So I'm not even saying I'm unique because I'm the same way. Like I don't really check for artists. Like even the ones that I like I don't like. I'd be like, oh damn, this thing got something new. Like oh that shit like 3 months old, and it's like,
Oh,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
and it's because I'm not. Oh shit, this ain't got something new yet. Like
Because distribution is totally different now. You know,
well they just
You got those
releasing it.
people though.
They releasing it, and they're using the social media,
right,
i.e. the
platforms
popularity,
and everything. Yeah.
and it's not even. It doesn't even become popular. It's not even popular to me at that point. What it is at that point is, I done forgot about you. So like, you definitely need to advertise so I
Right.
can remember you again. You see what I'm saying? Because you've been gone for a minute.
Because, a lot of times, especially back in the day, a lot of people used to go for the distribution deal just to, throw their music and stuff out there. But there's so many platforms today that you don't even have to do that because you got to think about it. If you make a song, and even off that one song, if it catch that wave, and you put it on a streaming system for what 99 cents a song, and say over 3 million people. You know what I'm saying? Stream that song, buy that song. That's $3 million, and what they get, 5%, something like that, off the stream. So,
Man, it all depends on
I
the
mean,
platform.
you're right. So you
Nothing
still
like that.
you're still walking away with a couple of million off one song.
I mean,
But depending on your advertising.
yeah, because
Yo,
I mean, it
That-
depends on how it flows. Because if you look at
In today's age, it's really not about. It's about your marketing for real.
yeah.
Don't nobody like you can put out some
Well-
trash music and put some good marketing behind it, and it'll sell.
I look at it like this.
Like he said, it's a lane for everything.
Perks and sex. The Y&J song.
But if you look at Gorilla Glove, why do you think Young Gotti came and swooped her up so fast? Because he already
She-
knew
cause
just
she
off
was
the
a-
internet it was about to blow.
Yeah.
And that within itself was one of the things you can say, like, basically I can put this on a streaming system and, you know what I'm saying, charge everybody $1 to download the song or, get the song, and I'm still going to come out on top.
Man, you don't even know how hard that is, man. I mean, think about it like, and this is why it's hard, because I totally get it.
Mhm.
It's just fucking crazy, but it's like, ask somebody to download your song, and all they got to do is pay $1. Like, nobody will do that shit, basically, because they're like, well, I can just listen to it for free on such and such, so, like, why should I pay for your...
How you about
And
to
it's
say-
just $1.
you
Yeah.
about to say, ask somebody to download your shit for free.
Look, I was just about to say that too, because honestly, like if you already got Apple Music, like you could just download my shit, dog, and it's like they don't even charge you extra for it. But to get somebody to do that shit,
Yeah.
I can tell you in the back end of my shit, I'm like, yeah,
That's
there's
why
not
that
a lot of downloads.
That shit
There's
is
a lot of
all
streams,
about-
but not a lot of downloads.
a lot of downloads. You get a whole lot of streams. Go stream in anything, podcasting, rapping. Go streaming to go through the roof. All
Yeah,
they
but
got
long
to do
as
is
you
listen to 30
as
seconds.
long as you own the rights to it and stuff like that, you make the money off of it because
Well,
it's just they can't take your shit and just what I'm saying,
Nah,
put
it's
it
just
on
the-
there without you making a percentage or profit off of it.
Yeah, it's just the margins on that stuff with
Yeah.
Spotify, especially, is like very, very small. So it's like. But I think it's always been that way. I think the artists of today, I think obviously there's something wrong with the whole Spotify model thing, but outside of that, like, artists, I believe, just need to look at it for what it is. Like, the game is always changing, and there's ways to get in, and there's, and that shit changes all the time. So, now you can literally, like back in the day, you know, they had the chitlin circuit, and where it literally was, you know, the fucking hole in the walls all over the fucking place, like, cause it's like a known hole in the wall, like in every damn city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but now you can go online and damn near create that shit for yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And get people to follow you around like that. And it could be something just as simple as go to a college, and perform at the college. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have your performance down. I think that's another thing that the young artists nowadays. When I go to these things, sometimes like the stage presence is
it's
like
terrible.
Man, it's like, and the ones that actually, and it's always been this way, but some of the ones that have the best stage presence, like the music is just like.
It's always kind of like one or the other though.
Why do you think that like in today's, like if you look at the rappers before compared to the rappers that's out now, the money gap, why do you think the money gap is so different? Because, you know,
What you mean?
back then, you know, I guess you'll have to do so many shows, you'll have to do so much shit just to get a bag compared to the artists that come on today. They like, you know, it's like instantly they get the bag off top.
Part of that I think is just because it's a different time, and just a different time, not even with music, just in general. So like, I was just talking to somebody about this recently. It's like kids got like $1,000 gym shoes and $300 jeans and like multiple pairs of that shit. And I'm like, nigga, you a teenager, dog. Like, how did you get this shit? Like, I never had, like, I got a few pair, nigga, and I'm grown and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga.
This shit on my own.
Yeah, but my point is I didn't have it way back then. And like, my mama wasn't buying it. Like, and some of these people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they in the situation that I used to be back in the day. So it's like, how do y'all afford this shit? So it's just the times are just different, man. So the expectations are just different.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying, because you got that's the equivalent to the NBA, just throwing this out there.
Mm-hmm.
You have like Charles Barkley and them used to say like playing back then they was making bare change, and you got Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic, who was really the face of the NBA. Them was ones who opened the door for everybody else to make money. But now you got league minimum making so much more than what they was making back then.
Yeah.
You know, Scottie Pippen was making change compared to what, you know, secondary and thirdary players making, superstars making on the, you know what I'm saying? Now.
And I think the doors is open for them to get so many deals, you know what I'm saying, that people are not aware of, you know, sponsorships.
So I mean, that's just like the sync licensing thing, man. It's like, it's so many people that make money off of that stuff, dude, that are just literally, you know, I'm sure you heard the term, but bedroom producers, like they just, like, but that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah.
So you can get money from doing it that way, but just with the times being different and the young people actually understanding, I think they do understand that part about the business where, you know, you gotta pay. Like, you can't get all this shit for free, because like most of that free shit when it comes to the music, I swear it just never seems to work out right, dog. Like, unless it's, I don't even want to, because that's not free. I was gonna say if y'all collaborate, because so that's not really free, but like,
it's back in the days, like, well, shit, I gotta pay the DJ $500 to play my song. It's like,
I mean, but see, the thing about, like, even that, like, you still gotta pay the DJ, but it ain't $500 now. You know what I'm saying? But
now,
I mean, but now it's like, okay, well, what is this DJ really doing? Like,
who is this DJ?
Yeah,
Right.
Flex was just,
How many times you gonna spend my shit?
right.
Flex was just clowning on the DJs because they be whack as hell, and he a DJ, like he DJ for 42 Dub. So
DJs nowadays don't know how to blend, don't know.
They be taking people money like it ain't shit.
I had we did so I was doing a show with Big Hayes, and like the DJ was basically like that, no blends, man. And that was the first time I had ever heard anybody do that. And I was just like, hey, what is he doing? Like, it just went.
Music and dropping it in. I was like, what? I hear that. I hear that.
Okay.
I mean,
It was so jarring. Like,
well, everybody calling themselves a DJ nowadays. You know, DJs ain't what they used to be. You know, back in the day when you had a DJ, you had a DJ. Now you got somebody on a
Playing music.
computer with an iPad.
hey man, that's the way, dog. Like, you can't knock it.
knock it.
You can't
I can't knock it,
man.
but you know what I'm
You
saying?
can't knock it because
But-
you can't blend on that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
blend,
Do it
but
right there on
but
that.
you gotta
And it
look at
sound
it.
good.
There's a
Look,
lot
you
of
being
people.
old.
There's a lot of people that don't do it, and if you like, you know, if you one of the music people, you know what I'm saying, if you musically inclined, you be like,
Well, they got the virtual tables.
yeah, they got the virtual tables, but everybody don't use them.
And they got them sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where you still get the whole.
Cause I done been to some venues where motherfuckers just drop shit in, and I'll be like, dog.
Well, that's the difference.
I'll be like,
Well, look, that's the difference when it comes to the DJ, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you just don't have nothing but a laptop,
I'm a track player.
you can't work it. No, I take that back. You probably can, because at the strip club, you just gotta plug in. Look, I went up to the DJ booth.
We got DJ in the house. Yeah, but the business, man. Like I say, learning the business, being in the business, man, it's an adventure. You know what I'm saying? And if you willing to take that ride, it's all about knowledge because you're gonna learn something. You know.
You playing instrumentals
Mm-hmm.
in movies and sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, to me, I'm hearing what you're saying. Like, okay, so how are you how did you put yourself in that position? Because, and let me say this first,
right.
because it sounds like I asked that question, but I want to clarify from this, because I'm hearing that in order to, if you got a song, in order for me to play your song on my movie, all I gotta do is license, get your permission. Once I get your permission, based off that, it streams for you. So how are you getting it towards? And I would think that would be for a reality show as well, you know, a TV show as well. It go based on streams. So how are you getting it for a, let's say, contracted, situation where it's different from?
So for just say for instance like TV. For TV, all this stuff basically gets calculated on the publishing end of it. So that's literally where all the money is coming from. It's coming from your BMI or your ASCAP. But it's not like Spotify where, just say for, I don't know what the thing is, but say Spotify pays like 1/millionth of 1 cent for a stream. You see what I'm saying? 1/millionth of 1 cent.
Right.
So, with TV, it's not like that. And it just gets published, with the publisher. You can get the cue sheet from the production, and all they do is you just license it to them. They pay the fee, whatever the sync fee is that you agree on for that, and they use it.
That's great.
Whatever the contract states, and you guys agree upon how it's going to be used. In most cases, they come in two different forms. There's exclusive and non-exclusive. So when you have the non-exclusive, that basically means you can just go ahead and use that, put it up under your show, and use it for whatever the terms are on that contract, and I can still use it again. I still own it. So I can send it to a different library.
It's still mine, though.
Right. Or I can get, and this is kind of like what a record deal would kind of be like for a producer when it comes to sync licensing. So you submit to music libraries, and that's basically where the production companies get their music from for their productions. So you'll get with a music library and say they'll want, but you can work with multiple as long as it's non-exclusive.
Right.
So I can. The only thing you can't do is send them the same tracks. So
Right.
I
Gotta
can
be something
work with your music library and your music library, non-exclusive. I can send you 10, and
They're gonna be 10
yeah,
different.
and I can still send other tracks out to other people. And then outside of that, there's like music supervisors, which are lit like the go between the library and the movie.
And that's crazy because that's like, it's like knowledge is power.
Right.
Because you would hear something like this and everything sound easy when you
Right.
listen from somebody else's mouth. Because you don't know they role, they just telling you the process of how I go, But hearing this process and hearing a rapper's process or a producer process who producing beats for rappers, you would think I would want to go this way.
I think
Or I dibble the devil in both. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, you actually can do all that, and work with. You can do all that if you want. That threw me off. Look, I saw you though. Yeah, man. Like you can just. I think it's. You just have to definitely anything that you're trying to do outside of having passion and all that. Like you definitely have to do your research. Like you gotta learn some stuff. If you don't know it, if you're interested in it, you gotta learn. Sometimes it's gonna cost you to learn, so you gotta do that. You gotta go to conferences and you know what I'm saying, network.
Cause I look at Terrence Howard. I think in an interview he said he only made like about $12,000 or $15,000 off the movie Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
But the crazy part about it is, he said, I think it's, don't quote me, I think it's Paramount. He said he has to go back and sue them because all the music that he did for the movie, they put it up under DJ and not Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
So Paramount owns all the rights to the music. They own the royalties and the masters and everything. And he gets nothing for that. So basically he made a movie that did very well and all he got was $12,000.
So this the flip side to that. What's my man name? I think it's Jason Weaver. He did The Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he got all his paperwork and all that right.
His mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that same situation, literally the flip side.
I think basically they told him we'll give you $1 million if you do this movie. And his mama was like, "Oh hell no,
Dude,
not $1 million."
like I said, man.
Every time that's played, and he acting other shit.
It's like I said, man. Like think about it. If they spending thousands of dollars for something that they only gonna play for 15 seconds, like just imagine how much money they have to work with.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And like most of this stuff, like in sync, you lucky if you can get somebody to use the music more than once. But it can be done, you know what I'm saying? It just all depends on what music library is there and, you know, what they got going on.
And you know, when you look at a lot of these situations, even with Friday, as a big movie as it was, a lot of these people got paid the bare minimums. You know, and these productions and shows, they did very well when it came to, numbers and, making money. But, like you say, the business part of it, when you not too keen on it, you take a movie like Hustle and Flow, and you take the soundtrack from Hustle and Flow, which, I mean, come on, Whoop That Trick, everybody was singing that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? And you talking about at the end of the day, all you got was $12,000?
Yeah.
So, before we slide, I love to ask this question to everybody that come on. Yours is really going to be inquiring to me. This is about to be a blast asking you this. Then we're going to jump into the fuck you for the week and then hold you up for the week. And then I'm going to toss you over the keys to the whip and let you, we going to dip. Oh, shit, if that would have flowed better, that would have been a dark. But then I'm going to let you slide us out with the rocket drop for the week. But today, you today have to go back to the 18-year-old you and give yourself some advice, you have to advise yourself, you have to tell yourself, you have to instruct yourself, what are you telling yourself?
Don't go to that R. Kelly concert. It's not gonna turn out the way you think it's gonna turn out. Trust me, it's not gonna.
You were so clearly you would. I'm afraid to ask you what happened.
That's where I met somebody that I didn't want to really meet. I don't want to say no. But I'm sure you know what I mean. But yeah, man. I mean, nah, man. Like, really, I probably would just tell myself, like, stay focused. Try to do more learning than hanging out earlier versus later.
Okay. Alright. I got a kind of question for you. Because you seem focused the whole time. You seem focused. And even when he talking about, you know, y'all past due diligence back in the day, he make it seem like you was that business person. So when do you feel like you lost focus? Or what point do you feel like if you would have retained more focusedness where you would have exceeded more?
Nah, I don't think I ever actually lost focus. I think what happens is, I think what happened to me is what happens to a lot of artists, producers, which is life just happens, and like, but you gotta figure out how to keep it going, because like, I guess like I said about being a perfectionist, like that's what's common about all the quote unquote greats. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, oh, I gotta get it going. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's with me, my team, whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. So I just, you just have to, like, I think what I do for myself is I find time to just do what I want to do, but I structure it around what I'm doing. So like, if I know I got a deadline with getting this track in, like, I'm gonna get the track in. But once I get the track in, I'm about to go have me a couple margaritas. You know what I'm saying? And throw some 42 up in there, and we, you know, play the game or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and after that, you know.
Goodness.
Man, dog ass conversation, man. I gotta learn how to increase our time on our podcast. I swear to God I do. But we running low on it. So go ahead and hop into that fuck you for the week. Who getting fucked on?
Let's
We need
see.
to make that a little thing so I can hit that. Who getting fucked on? Who getting fucked on? Who getting fucked on?
I'm gonna roll with the Democratic Party, man. Democratic Party as a whole, I think a lot of times we as blacks, we feel like we have to be Democrats because, you know, it just seems we grew up like that and we roll on that. But, you know, I sit back and I look at the Democratic Party as like a pretty much failure to the black community. And the reason why I say that, and it you know, this is just my opinion of looking, you know, looking from the outside, is that they keep us in a state of where they minimize everything we do. Our movements, they minimize our money, they minimize our growth, because basically what they're doing is consecutively giving us handouts. You know what I'm saying? So them handouts are basically shortchanging everybody. So it's basically, hey, don't worry about it. We the Democratic Party, we got you. So guess what? We're gonna give you free housing. We're gonna give you food. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you a little bit of money to survive. But that's just to keep you right there and make sure you don't grow. Because we're never going to give you the will to get out there to hustle on your own and to make it on your own. So we're going to know where you at all times. We're going to know how much money you make. We're going to make sure that you never rise above anything that will be a threat to us. So it's basically slavery on a different level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one thing I can say about the Republican Party is basically get off your ass and get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out, but I'm not giving you free handouts.
I mean, I feel like it's a system period, though, but go ahead.
And, you know, I would say it's the system period if it wasn't so separated. And you can see how it's separated. Even if you take the crisis in New York right now. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the migrants they're letting in. Look at all the money they're going to spend in the next 3 to 4 years. You're talking about over probably $4.5 billion in the next 3 years. But yet, you have schools that's closed down. You have neighborhoods that haven't been rebuilt or invested in, but we don't have the money. We don't have the money to help out our people at home, but we have enough money to bring over 12,000 immigrants into the city and phase them in and give them money, give them housing. We haven't even helped our own people yet. And you got to look at where the most of these votes are coming from. They're not coming from the Republican Party. They're coming from the Democratic Party. So, I mean, as an American, as a black man that's living in these areas, and you telling me you have no funding for my schools, you have no funding for the neighborhood, you have no funding for the community, you can't build these centers that, you know, for homeless people, but yet you can bring over 12 to 15,000 immigrants and put them in the city and tell them that basically, well, we owe them this. They deserve this. You know, we're helping them out. You haven't even helped us out. So, I mean, when we go vote, we got to look at all that shit. We just can't look at names. We just can't look at a party. We got to see what people are really doing that benefits us as a whole. Because just, you know, voting on, okay, I'm black, so I should vote Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to vote for this guy because everybody's chanting his name. We got to get out of that stigma of just, you know, rolling over. So, you know, when I look at it as a whole, I just don't like the way they play ball. So, you know, fuck Democrats. I won't be voting for them motherfuckers.
So if you're not voting Democratic and you vote Republican, and Republican not doing nothing for you anyways.
You know, basically, as a man, you don't depend on anybody to do shit for you. You do it for yourself.
But then you got all of these people who systematically have the system dependent on
Fuck them. They need to get up off their ass, dude. I mean, they got to hit bricks. So
are you declaring that, okay, you're not voting Democrat because you feel like you are a Republican Party? Or do you feel like you...
No, I am part of the Republican Party for the simple fact I believe in we got choices. You know what I'm saying? We
just stay your freedom of speech.
Yeah, we have things that we have to do on a daily basis that we don't even like doing, but we do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like getting up going to work, but I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting for anybody to give me a check. I'm going to go out there and make my own lane.
No, you want to know what I learned, though? It's very contradictory to what you feel. This world, my bad, the United States, is not about what you give to them at the end of the day. They feel like it's what they can take from you.
Yeah.
So, some people who depend on the system may feel like I'm dependent on the system because I am taking from the government.
But guess what they
Coincide, wait. Coincide. Like, you have panhandlers, people who stand on the corner, beg for money. Most of the time, they making a good amount of money a year. You know what I'm saying? Tax-free money. They're not really homeless. They're not really hungry. They're not really... This is a lick for them. They're getting over, going to the other side of town, living their life with whoever they choose to, or living bare minimum knowing that they got all of this money. Getting over. So you can't really say, like, man, fuck you because you getting over and I got to work hard.
Well,
no, man. Let that man live his life because that's his due diligence, brother.
And you know what? The flip side of that
America is about to let an opportunity and let
me show you the flip side of this.
Why wouldn't they want to come here?
Let me show you the flip side of that. That's why blacks in America, a lot of them don't have no generational wealth.
It's a lot of white people panhandling though.
Because they only think about themselves. But yeah, you got to look at the majority when you're talking about money ratio. And you're talking about generational wealth. Yeah, I can be a family that's set 3 decades on welfare. But what is that doing for my family name?
Or you can be the exact same person who broke the chain. So you was the 3rd decade on welfare, who broke the chain, got your business, still feel like my mama and them breaded me from this. I'm not gonna disown what my mama and them breaded me or welfare because I came from this. This is how I was able to break my chain. So, big time. If you need welfare, get over on the system.
It's the thing.
Because at the end of the day, once you get to this position, the system gonna get over on us.
Okay, but let's go on statistics. How many people do you basically think that came off that welfare train that made it? I mean,
Tyler Perry.
They got people.
Example.
They got people that they highlight.
You ain't gotta go no higher than Tyler Perry because he was homeless.
You gotta go higher than that when you're dealing with it statistic wise. He's just one out of that statistic.
Okay, now you have Tyler Perry bringing all of these people who's.
But you still gotta look at it. He's just one out of that statistic.
How many people we had come on this show that said that people came from nothing? My nigga, you sit on this show and say, oh, yeah, my bad. My bad. Your mama was a nurse, your daddy worked in a plant. Oh, my bad. All right, my bad.
My thing is always pushing generational wealth. Always putting yourself out there and stop letting the system dictate how you live. Get out there and get it on your own. You know what I'm saying? We can come from something, but we got to understand where we're going. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, sometimes we get caught up in this cycle where my mom's, my grandma was on welfare. She lived all this time. My mom's on welfare. She lived all this time. I'm going to be on welfare and live all this time. At some point, we got to break that shit, man. And
they still doing it now, man.
Yeah, they still doing it now.
Listening to Sexy Red.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the opportunity is more now in today's age. You have so many more opportunities now than you did back then. Even to still utilize the system in a democratic form and still retain and still profit off of it. I just feel like,
as a whole, if you look at if you look at the Democratic Party, they garbage. As a whole, if you look at the Democratic Party, they garbage.
To me, the whole system garbage.
And the shit
we should not never have to pay taxes. I shouldn't have to vote on the president. I shouldn't. Man, it's so. Come on, everything. Come on, we still living off the 13 colonies. Come on, man. Like the whole system should be changed. So to me, the whole system.
Who do you think is the biggest ones that basically say reparations should never happen? Democrats. Democrats are the ones that say reparations should never happen. Why? Because they already know that will make everybody somewhat equal or make some of us somewhat greater. Because you got to look at the disparities that happen over there. You're talking about land. If you're talking about land, black folks owned a lot of land that was stolen from them.
We got it right.
So, you can never say that, hey, well, I can give you so much money that's going to, bring you to the level where you got to be at. They will never let that shit happen.
I should have tapped in. I tapped in too early. That's my part. But do you want to tap in on it? Oh. that was a whole
basis.
Y'all touched all the bases right
I got
there.
the politics when I'm at home by myself.
And man, my hold you up for the week gonna be very simple. Live your life. Live your life. Whatever you feel like you can do to do your do. If you feel like you gotta live above and beyond, then chase above and beyond. I know some motherfuckers who happy for a bare minimum and feel like they got everything. Live your life. Live your life. You want to tap into that?
Nah, we
You want
good.
to tap into that?
I agree with that.
So, well, man, real good, real simple. So let's go ahead and get ready to slide. Like I said, before we slide, I'm gonna toss you over the keys to the Rocket to Drop It. Make sure y'all tap into that Rocket to Drop It. That streams Rocket to Drop It. And he gonna end with that. But before we end, I want you to deliberate to our community and your community to tie us all into one. Be peace.
Man, just learn as much as you can and chase your dreams and chase the goal. That is the goal. And, you know, you find me at the FireStarter 313 on all my platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Check me out. And I'm also on Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. Yeah.
Go ahead and jump into that Rocket and Drop It for the week. And you can introduce it. And then we slide after this. We always keep it together. If this is separate, we always keep it together. Go ahead.
Alright, it's the FireStarter, which streams